Hi, Arthur. Welcome back again.
Thank you.
It's been, wonderful on my part, certainly. Sort of bearing witness, not just to your journey, but the pivotal moments in your journey over the over the many years, if you like, right? And I think certainly, it's been a fascinating account, and I know that there's so much more that could be said, right? In each one of our conversations, we could delve deeper and deeper and deeper into, the kind of the substance of your of what you said. What I want to, very soon, Arthur, you'll be entering. I think it is 2 years, right? As ActionAid, at the helm of the organization as Secretary General. So congratulations in advance on achieving your anniversary, my dear brother. I mean, what from your perspective, Arthur, has been like the kind of, the hardest lessons, if you like, that you've learned and you've carried with you in this last 2 years? Would you like to reflect with us a little bit about that?
Yeah. First of all, it's been a deep honor. Right from the first, conversation we had, when you asked me whether when I was a young person, I would imagine having the honor to be part of such an organization. And I said no, because I didn't think about it that way. I think it's been a deep privilege to grow and to learn from this organization, not just in the last 2 years, but in the last 13 years. So I think that one of the most really important reflection points I've had as a leader in ActionAid is to know when you should lead from the front, when you should support, and when you should follow as a leader. Sometimes people think leaders are always leading from the front.
Yeah.
Sometimes you should follow. And I have been really honored to work with people in ActionAid that have more experience and wisdom than me. And I find myself in a space where I'm called a leader, but really, in truth, where I'm learning from incredible people. Whether it's you, Gino, and many colleagues on the board, whether it's the leadership team that I work with, like I've mentioned before, they are so technically sound that I just feel humbled to be in their midst to learn. So this has been the journey that I celebrate and feel the honor of being part of this organization. Now, what have been some of the most difficult moments? ActionAid is a complex organization, like many others, and balancing interests of diverse constituencies within ActionAid has been challenging. When you have to think about where the people of Malawi come from in their perspective, and the people from Italy, and the people from Brazil, and the people from the UK, they all come with a rich tradition and experience. And everybody in ActionAid, even when we disagree, are coming from a place of, how can I say this, goodwill. They want to make a difference. They're coming from a good place. So you find yourself as a leader having to balance all these interests. I don't have to represent only one interest as a leader. So what the Danish people think and what the Ugandans think and what Brazilians think and what people from Sierra Leone think must all be brought together. So this has been one of the most challenging but also inspiring, because you come from the understanding that everybody wants to have a stake in this organization, which is a good thing. So the organization is celebrating diverse voices to start with and diverse experiences. How you bring that in a way that creates meaning, growth, inspiration for everybody is not an easy job. So I think this was perhaps, if you asked me, the most challenging. I think it's getting all these interests together in a way that helps us to move forward and have a threshold that allows everybody to remain part of the organization. I think that's the core of what challenge, but also fulfillment has been for me. If there was no challenge in the organization, I would not grow. I would not be the person that I am. So hard times have also been moments for me to grow and for me to really realize that I need to listen more than just lead. You must listen and be able to help people to move forward.
Amilcar Cabral, one of the great leaders in the African continent, right, from Guinea-Bissau, he speaks about, you have different fruit, right? You get oranges, apples, bananas, pineapples. He says, when you take a bowl and you put all of these different fruits into a bowl, you create beauty of a beautiful bowl of fruit. So that's the kind of unity.
Yeah, wonderful.
Of course, if you scatter them across the table, they will just be individual, different kinds of fruit all scattered. But when you put them into a bowl and you arrange it,
brilliant.
I suppose that's a kind of the image, if you like,
brilliant.
Of
and this description, this what you have just said about Cabral is so important, because each and every fruit comes with its flavor. Yeah. And so to bring it together is amazing.
Correct.
I guess this is what I was trying to describe.
No, absolutely. Yeah. And I think the hallmark of a leader, if you like, in that process is to allow people to find each other. And that's, a kind of facilitator of a consensus. And when you have consensus, the unity of opposites, if you like, and non-antagonistic contradictions, then you know that you're creating the basis for the organization to move forward. As the Japanese say, friction is a precondition for forward movement, using the engine, motor car engine as an example. So, brilliant, Arthur. From another perspective, I understand the idea and the sensitivities around issues of legacy, right? But all good things, as they say, do come to an end. So that a new beginning, without winter, there'll be no spring. So the kind of, the change is constant. From your perspective, and in the way that you apply yourself and in what you've been doing, in everything that you've shared, in this particular in podcast, Arthur, what when you leave the organization, right? And it's not a if but when, right? Because of the constitutional provisions and stuff like that. When you look back, what would you like to be remembered for?
Really, it's a simple but difficult question to answer,
I understand.
and really important. I truly believe in legacy. It's important to be remembered for something, because if you don't care about the consequence of your decisions, you can be very reckless.
Correct.
So people who don't care about legacy really don't care about people, don't care about their decisions. However, it's very difficult for me to kind of tell my story when I've left. I think that the true description of legacy for any leader, including myself, will be the story that people tell of you, not what you tell of yourself. We can glorify ourselves and say whatever we want to say, but like we talked about a few episodes ago, the impact of your leadership should be seen in others, not in yourself. Yeah. So we have this conversation, Gino, at a time when we've lost an icon in ActionAid, Eva Joyce Wynne. And yesterday I was part of an amazing memorial for her. The stories we heard about EJ, she wouldn't have told them herself. We are telling these stories as people who experienced her. So this is what I think should be part of what people say about me when I'm gone, out of the organization or out of this world, is what will people say. And I hope that what they will remember me for, that I was a leader that enabled people to express and deliver their full potential. I like to say that a good leader is an enabler, so that if I am remembered as somebody who enabled others to realize their full potential, I will roll wherever I am with joy. Not that, oh, he achieved this, he did that. No. A leader is supposed to create the conditions for people to shine. And so this is the single most important thing I wake up with and think about. Not that, oh, we had a wonderful person, but we had a person that created the environment in which I discovered myself, discovered my, full potential, and discovered the best part of me, during his time. This is what I want to be remembered for, and not many complicated things. And so I hope that these stories that people will speak about after I have left will be stories about how they fulfilled their dreams, their aspirations, about how they felt value in themselves. I think that's really what I would hope would constitute my legacy.
Arthur, without wanting to extol your virtues, right, and to put you on a pedestal, but everything that I've heard you say about, how you see your role and the role of leadership, if you like, embodies the spirit of Ubuntu. I am because we are, I am because of others, kind of thing. And that is, I think that's a very important, characteristic, if you like, of what we would describe as servant leadership. And in your, in so far as your work, if you like, not just in ActionAid, if you have to trace back the ideas that you've embodied and you've embraced and you've lived by, from a youngster, in the NGO sector in Uganda up to now, what is it? What is the thread that runs through all of that? That even after ActionAid, if you like, after your, when you serve your full sentence, that you will take with you as a thread, that you will leave a trace behind.
Yeah. So in 2012, when I joined ActionAid, we were marking 30 years of ActionAid in Uganda. Yeah. And so we put a collection of what we had done. And I suggested to the team that why don't we just surrender all that we think we have done to an artist to make meaning of it. And a young musician called Barbara was given an opportunity to tell ActionAid story, 30-year story, in a song. And the title of this song, it's there on YouTube. I play it whenever I feel that I must connect with the spirit of ActionAid. And the title of that song is Smile Again. Smile Again. That's it. And you listen to the song and the images she used of ActionAid, and they truly make me most fulfilled. That you're able to make people smile again. If we can make Palestinian people authentically smile again, if we can make landless people who have been deprived of their heritage smile again, if you are able to make a prisoner of conscience smile again, if you are able to make a woman who has been, oppressed and a victim or survivor of domestic violence smile again, authentically, this is what I would want to carry from ActionAid to any other place I go to. Because at the end of the day, it's really making a difference in someone's life if they can smile again. This is what I would want to carry.
Yeah. I've never known, I didn't know Ever Joyce, right? But I've known the first time when you came into the country, you told me you were going to go and visit her. I've seen the tributes from colleagues, not just in ActionAid, but feminist movements in Africa paying tribute to her. So my question, if she was listening to this conversation, do you think she'll be smiling?
I think proudly so. Okay. AJ was a remarkable woman. And I mentioned yesterday in her memorial that when EJ called me and told me well done on anything, that day I felt a deep sense of fulfillment, because she was a very critical person, sometimes terrifying also to people. And her validation of anything that you did really made you feel truly and truly valuable in terms of the contribution. If EJ was listening to this, I think she would really be proud of what we have achieved together with her, because there are many things that she did and taught me that I believe would make her proud. Listening to the conversation that we are having. So at the end of the day, that's what matters. But it's not just EJ. It's also other people, not just people who are senior to you. I will tell you a funny little anecdote about myself. So when my CV, when people write CVs and they put referees, out of 4 referees, 2 of them are people who I have worked with as my subordinates, not my seniors. One is an administrator in Kenya, I worked with a long time ago. And another one is another staff, a junior staff, who works with me currently. And I want anybody who wants to look for a reference about me, not just to learn from people, top people, but people who have felt the impact of my decisions, to also have a voice about who I am. This is why my referees are a mixture of people who have line managed me, but also people I have line managed, so that you get the full story of me and the impact that I might have, negative or positive, in people's lives.
No, with this, that is very unusual, Arthur. Usually, when people, sort of name referees, they're hoping that people will come in with a favorable disposition. So sometimes you take the risk, and of course, you reap the rewards. So, Arthur, I don't know, any famous last words to conclude this conversations in lessons on leaders and leadership?
I would say, Gino, thank you very much for coming up with this idea. It's been several weeks of really a natural conversation that, to be very frank with you, and this is not because you're here, I have never been involved in an activity that has given me so much opportunity to reflect about and also to learn from myself. Quite often we are just busy moving to the next thing and not taking time to just reflect on who we are as human beings. So, frankly, my last word is just thank you for giving me the opportunity to discover and to share my story. And I hope that this story that has been captured in a very nice way in 10 episodes inspire some people and help them to learn and realize that each and every detail in their own lives matter. I think that's all I can say.
Yeah. Arthur, thank you. From
Thank
my
you
side,
very, very much.
it's been an absolute pleasure, my dear brother. Yeah,
Thank you, comrade.
thank you.